Why? All right. Okay. You let me know when you want me to start, okay?
I think we're good. We're ready to start. Okay, so please, thank you very much. This is the next session that we have now for today. We have with us Uri Tabacznic calling from Toronto, Canada. Uri is living his life between, he's originally from Argentina, lived most of his life between a kibbutz here in Israel, where he graduated as an engineer in hydraulic system in water. Part of his life is in Colombia, and another one is in Canada. You did during the last years many projects, last 40 years, many projects related to water management, water metering, and agriculture all over the world. Some of the projects that are more interesting from our point of view are the ones that we call the dignity farming, in which I'm sure that Uri will be able to tell us a lot about. Uri, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I won't bother you with a lot of history because I've been living around the world, like Gabi said, for a while in many projects and in many different cultures. Um, what I like to express and be very clear, okay, that what I'm going to explain is my experience, my own experience, my view is totally personal. Why do I say that? Because the philosophy of what I'm offering to the different communities around the world have to be tailor-made according to the mentality, the feelings, the needs, and the possibilities of each society. It's nothing that you can buy by Amazon or you can buy in a supermarket. It's something that you have to build your own with your own experience, your request, and your sensibility to those needs. Okay? Did I make myself clear? All right. Being said that, most of the world is not wealth. It doesn't have a wealth of money, of power, of enrichment. They have basically a need of food and a better conditions in their life, which means health, education, and the environment that they live. Those things, when you live in a small piece of land, which is my experience, you cannot supply your needs with that piece of land. Okay? Why? Because your family unity has to depend of many things surrounding the logistic, the packaging, the transportation, the dealing, the negotiation, the finance. Everything is complicated for the shoulders of only one single farmer. Okay, the farmer has to get up in the morning, take care of the animals, or take care of the field, take care of the house, and everything is so much responsibility and worriness for one single person. If you conform, like we have succeeded in the past in Israel and in other parts of the world, that we try to transport that experience and accommodate to different parts of Angola and South American Colombia and in Ecuador, okay? What are we doing is we put together a group of people that they live in the same region, okay? We evaluate the land that they have, they evaluate what do can produce. And by the way, I have to make a, a break in these ideas. Land will produce whatever you want today. climate, everything you want to do, technology can provide solutions. And we can do anything in the winter, if you build, special structures where you can grow up anything that the winter can affect the crop, okay? Or the vice versa, you can prepare an ambience that it will be climate appropriate for whatever crop do you need. What we usually do, we evaluate, first of all, the human quality of wishes and needs, okay, to conform that society, that group. That I don't want to put titles because usually titles are really criticized, okay, by different media and experience. Could call it collective group, a cooperative, association, foundation, name it as you want. The name is not important. The important is the essence and the society needs. Okay. Second, once the group is united, is conformed under one single idea of working in pro of something that it would call enterprise, an enterprise of production, an enterprise of better living, an enterprise of culture, health, education, everything has to be mixed because everyone has to be really putting together what do they really want. Okay. Once do we have that group and we have the land, okay, then we start worrying, what do we produce? What do we produce is exactly what in the region they don't have. Okay. If there is no fish available because they're in the middle of the land and there is no rivers and there is no water, okay, we can produce fish. If there is eggs for breakfast, if it is chicken for feeding, if it's cows for milk, everything has to be thinking that we can produce. What do it? Okay, we organize usually the basic needs and we bring together what is the knowledge, how to produce it in mass. Initially, to provide to the community. What is the what we call, the feeding every day, the salad, the stew, the feeding of the community is the most valuable thing that you can guarantee that the satisfaction of seeing parents that their kids have been fed correctly, that drinking proper water, that they have a good environment to grow up. Okay, that's the basic tranquility that it gives to the community. Then we go to the closest communities or cities or municipalities or villages, okay, and see what do they have to import from far away, you know, to feed their needs, which means that if they have to travel a few hundred kilometers because they don't have strawberries or they don't have potatoes or they don't have onions or they don't have fish, then that's the added value that that community can produce to gain that advantage of not traveling so far away to provide to this community. Where is the earning and what is the profit of that community? Okay. Then we can organize the production for those items and we agree to this community that this society will be the supply of these products, signing or agreeing and a contract that it will provide these items. Okay. Once we have this idea, then we start organizing the fields, okay? Which field produce what? So we have to commit ourselves to make areas where your land is not very much affected individually, but then you supply a piece of land that it will be part of the community. Those areas, they will productive, okay, in general for everyone. A little piece, it will be your wishes of doing, I don't know, carrots or cucumbers or just a few little vegetables like lettuce or tomatoes, anything you want to do for yourself. You cannot deprive the people to have their own wishes, but they have to have the by thinking of this part is personal and this part is community. Okay. Once do we have those areas, we can start working in pro, which means, a tractor probably needed by everyone. But if you have one tractor and rotate and everyone doesn't have to be a big investment, the maintenance is share with all these people, okay, with the expenses, the fuel, the the maintenance is you train people to be a mechanic, you train people to prepare the tools that you're going to be working, so they start getting some handcraft and some handymans, they get a professional feel, okay. Once you have that, you have to start relying on the leadership. Who is the leadership that is going to come up to be listened by the people, okay? And that person is the one that is going to initially start organizing the commercial part, the working shift, the taking care of the kids. Everything have to be well organized without eliminating the private and their own existence, okay? You share a little bit of ideas, but you compare what is better for everyone. There is have to be very democratic in the way of decision. It's not because the leader is going to be the one that he talks to the supermarket out of the town, okay. This he's not the elected person. He's the leader because he's the one that is has the conversation level and the understanding of what is the process all about. This is when we start getting the benefits, and the benefits are usually in money. Money because money start coming in, money start flowing into the bank accounts or the wallets of the people, so they have the power of uh, purchasing and power of better living, okay, improving the houses. Everything have to be decided together. We're gonna improve our homes. We're going to build a new farm for the chickens. We're going to build everything is in community. Once this idea is approved, is accepted, and is already into your own belief, okay, that community, there is nothing that can stop it. We have proven, myself, I can tell you, you know, I work 7 days a week cleaning up the fields from stones just to let space for one seed to start growing whatever I was growing. If it was sorghum, if it was wheat, sunflower, anything, but it's your land, it's your benefit. That's what I have in experience. And how do we do it? We do it sitting with people, sitting with the elements that can provide some financial support, credits, some money for the basic needs initially to start producing. And after that, you don't have to create a donation, you have to create a credit to have the people the conscience of returning that money, that nothing is for a gift, everything has a value, and that value start to valorate whatever they own, the land and the health to produce. And then we start training the people to produce better things, to select the good products that they're going to be sold in better price, quality. Then everything is, look, I'm not a total capitalist. I believe in the system because the money goes around. Once the money goes around and it's not kept in only one pocket, everyone enjoy it. How does it do it? We do it with farming, we do it with animals, we do it with creation of better living. That's the idea that is been working in different communities that we have done the job, okay? And I be part of those in many ways. So I will stop just for you to make any questions uh, if you consider proper.
Maybe I can start with the first question. Can you please, you spoke very highly on the strategic and the inspirational level. Can you please be a bit more specific about the way that you constructed the dignity farming project in Colombia, and how can it be in the favor of Uganda? And the second question, which is a bit different, we spoke yesterday about the fact that Uganda now is starting to use water meters in the residential areas. So they're getting into the knowledge that water is a resource and it's an expendable resource and they have to take care of it. Can you please also add from your experience about that part? Really down to earth.
Okay. The way that we did, especially, I will mention one in Angola. In Angola, we it was the land provided by the government in the beginning of the end of the civil war. You know, I'm talking about 12 years ago. Okay, so what we received from the government the land, the selection of the people, we chose to work with the two groups that they were really involved in the violence. So to teach them how to live together, not to make confrontations, but to learn how to share the future and not to be arguing about the past. Okay, so that was one of the examples. Then we were not too close to the big cities, but we generate everything. We search for the water, we search for the conditions. There was building homes, okay, about 120 meters each home for each family. Okay, it was giving a piece of land private, and there was a general land, and there was also a big central of production for meat and for cows and for the milk. Okay, there was chicken, there were eggs. We produced our own yogurt that it was sent to the city, and then we produce most of the own feeding of the animals and the production. Okay, they were giving about 200 cows. Okay, the group of people, there were more than 100 families. Okay, and that was repeated in different other places. We kept the culture improving. Okay, the health. Improving, of course, the visit of the dentist to the kids. We were providing a better education in the region, okay, in which the teachers they were trained to promote the community as a group and not as individual, okay, and that was in Angola. Colombia was a little bit different. We were selected to provide the solutions to the surroundings of the big capital, Bogota, which is 9 million people. From those 9 million people, 4 million people live in poverty and extreme poverty, in invasions of the land, which they don't have any infrastructure to supply the needs of energy, water, or roads. Okay, so their conditions to start searching for a job, it was walking a distance of many kilometers until they get to the network of buses that they can take them for another hour to the industrial areas or to the commercial areas. People were traveling probably 4 hours a day back and forward until they get reunited with their families. So being in a very productive soil like is about 2,700 meters from the sea level in that region, we promote to move against the city, going into the rural areas, okay, and to produce the food for that region. That initially we start with 500 families, okay. We provide them with the support for each one a piece of 500 square meters in which they build their own farming, okay. Then we work with 3,000 hectares that it was provided by the government, not as a gift. We have to pay like a certain rent, okay? And that's our initiative. We don't want anything for free. There is not such a thing for free, okay? The money's always come up from somewhere. So we,
One second, the minister have a small question here, please.
okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uri, for your presentation. It is actually so beneficial to us because majority of people depends on agriculture. About 70% of our population rely on agriculture to earn their living. So your presentation is so good. As government of Uganda, we also try to use the model, but the problem we have, majority of our population depends on agriculture. What government has been doing has been putting some people in a group, they set up irrigation scheme for them, but majority of the community are left out. Why? Because there's huge demand from the community for irrigation scheme, which government cannot meet. So how best can we really bridge this gap of high demand for irrigation so that our communities are put into groups and they utilize their irrigation facility to grow their crops and their living?
Okay. Look, I know that the conditions, I never been to your country, and I appreciate your question. Initially, I will say that everything that have to be evaluated. There is nothing easy to solve. Okay, the solutions are in within. Okay, people have a right to certain places and they realize that probably the soil is too acid, there is too minerals. So, but the production today we can teach the people how to produce without the interference of the condition of the soil. Okay, this is one thing. Second is not to produce what the neighbor do, is to produce what the neighbor needs, okay? How do we do it? We have to organize. Everything is based of knowing exactly what is the potential of everything. You know, we have to feed the people. We have to feed them with quality. We have to balance our diet. We have to enlarge the production because if you put one seed every 30 centimeters, you know, it's different. One thing we improve in Colombia, they were producing between 5 to 7 tons of corn per hectare. Okay, we teach them how to produce 16 to 18 tons per hectare. You know, it's an increase of more than 65%. So how do we do it? We show them that they were planting, they were just putting 3 seeds per meter in each line and a 15 to 15 centimeters deepness, okay? We teach them that, first of all, that deepness of the seed is useless. Why? Because doesn't have to be deep to catch the humidity, have to be close to the oxygen that is in the surrounding areas, okay? And it's much easier to catch up the humidity, the water, not deeper than 3 centimeters deep. That, and we have put 8 seeds per meter. Only that produced incredible improvement in the production, okay, and in better condition for the corn. Look, I believe that my grandparents, they were farmers in Poland, okay? They were tobacco farmers. Anyway, today technology for the crops is totally different, okay? We don't have the time to wait and see the things come up. We have to produce them to rush into the market. We have to double or triple production a year in a field. We cannot waste time to rest because it's winter, it's summer. I'm sorry, that time is over. The holidays end up. Now we have to produce. There is almost 8 billion people, okay? And half of them, they are starving from food. And we are sitting in the soil that is not productive, looking because it's desert, because our trees, because our animals, everything has to have a solution, okay? And the solution is know how to mix this element that we have experienced and we know how to do it with you that they have this need, okay? My approach to you is use our brains, use our knowledge, our experience, okay? There is no, I did projects in India, okay, 44,000 hectares of irrigation, okay, but with knowledge of administrating the water. The water is precious, okay, and try to reuse water, try to gain the better condition of the water, okay. It's, you sitting sometimes close to a river and it said, oh, it's too far away. It's only 500 meters away from, bring the river to you, okay? Generate those things. We have to share. Look, my way of growing up is my knowledge and my experience. Is not my wealth. It's something that I have to share. And that's what I believe in through my life. Okay, share with people. You want my knowledge? Here it is for you to share, okay, to learn from me. My mistakes, I will avoid for you to fall into those mistakes. This is what Israel is all about. We are such a small country and we are such a great experience getting where we are today. I'm not talking about the other problem, okay? We're talking about how we going around the world showing our experience in technology, in wealth, in education, and everything else. This is our, we are being persecuted, okay, because we know too many things. And they don't people prefer poverty. I'm sorry that I'm getting into probably an element of politics, okay? But I can see when when we go to a government that it wants to do things, they said, okay, I'll give you to do an experience. This is, we have to experiment. We have to try what is better. We don't go to a store and buy the first jacket that we see. We try which one is looking better on us. This is exactly the same thing. We have to get the people start expressing what they have in their mind and what they've been going through to understand what they need to solve their situation. Sorry. If you want, I can get into the issue of the water and the water meter.
That would be great. Perfect.
Okay. Like I said before, the water is a very delicate issue, especially for everyday survival, but also, of course, okay, you cannot waste it. Measuring water is, of course, one of the elements that we couldn't avoid if we want to have organized society with a health situation that doesn't affect the structure of the Ministry of Health. Okay, we sometimes we don't see that how much a bad quality water can produce in a small kid, okay, and avoid going to school. And that produce that the mother cannot take care of other obligations because it's spending of the kid. Is the whole system is depending of so many connected elements. The water, the measure of the water is for the person not to obligated to be paying the water, is to have an acknowledge how much is using per day. Okay, in different weathers, in different conditions, there is between 120 liters per day per person to 250 liters per day per person. Okay, so this range I was called a long time ago, probably I would say 25 years ago. Yeah, 25 years ago in South Africa, they were killing the personal that it was used to go and read the meters in the certain neighborhoods. Okay, so the violence was unbelievable, and I felt sorry for that. Okay, and we designed what we call that is already been offered around the world, a prepaid system that today you can mix it with other elements, but the meter, it can transfer the information of the usage to the central head, okay, and the person can buy the water in the supermarket, in the mail office, in different places that it can be accessible to the person, okay? Doesn't have to. Today, you don't, once you install the meters, there are different quality of meters that it can send the indication, can shut off by itself. There are many things. The water have to be controlled. And one of the controls, not only in the people in their own homes, but have to be controlled in the network. There is what we call non-revenue water. The non-revenue water is the one that doesn't reach a meter, that is lost in the connections and the bad management from the plant, okay? I'm a specialist in reducing those losses, in studying the system and how do they work, okay? The tanks of the reservoir, okay? Everything has to be taken care with a good mental idea, okay? Reduce that element. Okay, I believe that that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Eliud. Nafuna Esther. You talked about the winter season. For us here in Uganda, we depend on the weather. When it's rainy, we have those fresh crops, like the vegetables and what. Now, for you people there, you have the winter season, and you say you don't grow crops during that time. Now, if you want the fresh vegetables or foods or what, do you have like a company that comes door to door delivering, like you press online and they deliver that? Or there is a way you preserve the fresh vegetables or like frozen or what?
Okay, I tell you what we did, not only in Israel, but in other places where they have an extreme amount of rain, okay? In Israel, we have an average of 280 millimeters in 4 months, which is from November to March, okay? After that, probably you won't see a drop of rain even by accident, okay? What we did in Israel in the 40s and the 50s, we create and generate reservoirs, okay? We collect the rain water that it was dropping from the small hills that we have compared to yours, okay? We topography specialists, we have worked with tractors and with bulldozers, okay? We create different faults of water that they reach different reservoirs that we built, okay, to preserve the water for winter to the summer. In the other extreme, in Colombia, for example, they have about 2,800 millimeters per year Okay, it rains most of the time, most of the year around. Okay, so for them there is not rainy season or dry season. Okay, there is rainy season most of the time. The excess of water also is a damaging situation. What we do is we create also with topography, we teach that the crops have to be raised a little bit in small mountains for the water to go around. Okay, so that, and we collect the water for creating the middle of the mountains fisheries, industry of fisheries. Okay, to create not only the feeding of the people in the cities, but also to create flour from the restovers of the bones and the different parts of the fish. Okay. What we do is we adopt. When I said myself, I said we is people that have experienced the issue with the water. Okay. What we do is we go and we see the situation and we adopt the technologies which improve the situation. Production have to be all year round. What is the basic food that you have in Uganda? What is the crop that you like to see in your table every day?
That's banana.
Banana, okay. Banana is a crop that you can produce all year round depending of the weather, okay? Unless that you are living in a country like Canada that have 4 months or 5 months of snow. That is impossible for a banana to exist, okay? But in your country, with your weather, banana can be productive all year round. How do you do it? Okay, controlling the amount of water. Excess of water is very damaging. Lack of water is very damaging. Okay, so then there irrigation system. There is, like I said, control of the floods. Okay, and of course control of the birds. The birds like to pick the banana. So there is network. I don't know if you were able to visit Israel. We have very little bananas, but we eat banana, okay? And our crops, because Israel is in the middle of the pathway of the immigration of the birds from Africa to Europe. So Israel is a little standby, and we have areas, the Valley of Hula. I don't know if everyone will be able to see. Over there is all kind of species of birds, and they like to stop to eat bananas. They love bananas. Why not? But we protect our bananas because they are just a few hectares in the whole country. We import most of the bananas that we eat in Israel. Okay, so everything we have come up through the years with the experience of have to do this. Okay, so your problem is my solution. So that's why I believe that what Gabriel and the Diplomatic Institute is doing is trying to share our experience with you to show you that there is a different element that you can incorporate to the next future plan in your government and in your country. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm part of the Diplomatic Institute right now in Canada, in my way to Colombia, okay, to continue that process that we start with 500 families. Right now, the government have implemented 1,500 families more in different neighborhoods to incorporate to this organization. So I have to go there to start talking to the people, organizing the engineers, organizing the process, and start dealing with the export because I'm also trying to do the international business for the solution of the crops. They have to have money. We don't start buying any seeds that is not being sold before, what we call future. We do contracts of future. So we cannot, maybe what I sell the onion, no, maybe no. There is no such a thing of maybe. Have to be sure, okay? Everything is not gambling. Farming is not gambling. Farming is have to be concrete and assure there is a destiny of income coming back to recuperate the investment that we have done, not only in time and labor, but also in money. Okay, that's that's what we do with water. Protect the water and search the water, and of course reuse the water. We can use water for fishing, and we can use it after uses. We can use it for farming, has very high nutrients usually, and this after that it goes there, goes back to the soil. You can use many times the water. Capture from the top, the houses, eh, what we call harvesting the water in the rain during the season, and collect that for different uses. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience and your time. And thank you for being in my country. I wish you the best, and my knowledge and my experience is to your disposal. Okay, and keep enjoying, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
bye.
Dear God.
Bye bye.